Greetings everyone, this is Elizabeth. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're having a wonderful crafty day. We are here today with another look at the Lavinia stamp. This is Indra. If you're looking to purchase her, you can find her on Amazon at laviniastamps.co.uk. I will also put that in the description. And we're going to make 3 cards with one 12 by 12, a piece of cardstock, and a piece of white, and an embossing folder. So for that, we would need 3 stamped out images. And know that when you pull out your stamps, go ahead and stamp out a couple. Especially if it's something you love, because then all you have to do is grab it, color it in, do some fancy stuff, whatever you want to do to match what's going on down here. We have 3, which one we're going to do watercolor, because in my last video I said watercolors and then we didn't even use them. And then one I think I'll do colored pencils with. And then one I'm going to make super easy and ink blend. So it'll be 3 different butterflies, but the same, on this wonderful setup. Now, I did a sample run because I wasn't sure how I wanted them to look. And this is using, I have a spongy style. These are Brie Reese for her alcohol inks. So this is more of a hard, so that's how I got that effect. And then this was using this straight up. So we could do 2 different techniques. I mean, you could watercolor it, but yeah, so that's why I have those out, because I think it's going to be beautiful. So I already have the stamp stamped. Yay! So we're going to cut down our paper. Now, we're not going to do white card bases. I picked a decent thickness piece of paper. I mean, it's not 100-pound or anything like that, but it'll work, out of my drawer of colors. Now, if I remember correctly, I wrote it down somewhere and then lost my little cheat sheet. Because that's what we do, right? We write stuff down and then we lose it. And I really did lose it. Okay, so let me just jot it down one more time, because I don't want to mess up my paper and I want to get 3 cards out of it. So we have a 12 by 12. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I took off 8 inches. So that's 8, and that leaves 4 for 12. And then that's our first cut. I don't know why I did a half. Okay, and then we're gonna cut this down at the 6, right? Because then, because then that'll be a 6 and this will be a 6. And then we're gonna fold it at the 4. So then we have a 6 by 4 card. And then we're going to fold it here at the 6 to give us a 4 by 6. So we'll get 3 card bases out of there. Okay. So the first cut, because we don't want to cut the 6 because then we can't fold this little piece. So we want to cut at the 8 first. Since this is a 12 by 12 square, it doesn't matter what side, we're just going to pick one and go with 8. Okay, now this one, when we fold it in half, will be a full 4 by 6, folding that way. And now we turn once and cut it in half, which would be 6. Okay. And now we have 2 that fold this way. And to score those, because I really don't want to mess them up, I don't know if I have another one of those pieces of paper. Crash. We're going to pull out our little scoring buddy. Mine is from We Are Memory Keepers. I don't like the paper cutting because the grooves, it gets me off. Like a good chunk is off. But it is great for folding the cards. So we always score, flip, and fold. Okay? So you score, flip, and then fold. So we want our image up. Whatever's going to be outside, we want up. Now this is an 8-inch piece of paper. We're going to fold it in half at the 4. Then we're going to flip it. This is a 12-inch piece of paper. So we're going to fold it at the 6. Okay, flip to fold. 8 1/2 is 4. Okay, then we flip. And if we butt it into the corner, it'll help these line up a little bit better and be more even. And then we can just smooth out our edge, just like that. Beautiful little 4x6. Isn't that cute? Put it right in the corner. Get everybody butt up in there. Come on. And then just press that down. And see, now this is a top fold, but it is also a 4x6. Okay, get that in there, nice and snug. And then there we go, 4x6. And that is maximizing your entire sheet of paper. Isn't that just lovely? All right. Now, I wasn't too sad about making it that small because our little folder is kind of small. So it'll give us a nice little area, which means I just need to trim my paper to fit in the folder. So we're going to trim it here, and then we're going to trim it, oops, down this, maybe, get over there. We're going to trim it down the side there, okay? So for this one, we're going to cut the short, well, I guess it's not the short, but cut on the 11 side. And then we're going to cut this one, okay? We're just gonna put this in here nice and tidy. Get our sandwich. For this, for the thin ones, we need this is the Gemini Junior. So you have your cutting mat, your magnet mat, your folder with your paper, and then your other cut mat, because these thin ones need a little extra push. Sounded terrible, but it's just fine. And then we have a beautiful dude there. And then I'm going to rotate my plate. It went in one way. We're going to flip it all over and put it in the other way. Okay, super easy. Oops, I need you. So last time we did it that way, and now we'll do it this way. super easy. And we're going to get our color out. And at this point, you can decide which way you want to color it. Because if you do, you see, that looks pretty too. You can do that or that. I think I'm going to do one this way, and I'm going to do the other ones that way. Because why not, right? All right. So we have our 3. So I'll do 2 this way and then 1 on the back side. And you can do a solid color. You can do multiple colors. I mean, you can go really crazy with this. You can fade. So if I go really dark, and then have it light up there, you can definitely do that. I'm liking that too. Whew, yeah, I like that. And I'm not tapping off because your sponge isn't having full contact because all the bumps and the raises. So I'm not going to get the weird pulling that I would if I was doing like this, just a normal sheet. And then I get a weird one there, but it's going to go away real quick. This one, I'm going to do the corners a little bit darker. There we go. That's a nice one. And then this one. Easy peasy. I just made, oops, 3 backgrounds. Actually, no. I want this one more filled in. All right. So, yeah, that's better. All right. Likey, likey. So, we have our pages and pages. Now, this is, I'm going to set right there. I'm going to do a little border of this nice lavender. So whatever background you pick, just pick a lighter shade that will go with it. Because then you're going to pick a color that's going to be brighter than everything. So it really pops off the page. Okay. That is a 4x6. So let us go with 4. Let's do 3/75. So it's 4 minus a quarter. Let's see if I like that. Yeah, see, oh, that's gonna be so pretty. And then I'm gonna have to get my other one because it doesn't go to 6. So 4 minus a quarter, just like that. And then 4 minus a quarter. Maybe. Get on there. Okay. All right. So there's my 3 panels. Sort of. I gotta cut them down because 5.5 is the most I could get out of that. So I need 6 minus a quarter. So 6 minus a quarter. 6 minus a quarter. And one last one at 6 minus a quarter. Woo! And these, you could save them or trash them. If you know you're going to do some more projects, you could type a sentiment on there and put it on. Definitely some decent sentiment scraps. Okay, so now we have that. And I'm not sad about covering all this pattern because look, when they turn it over to see who made it, it's going to be beautiful. Okay, and I did pull out more tape, but I think we're just going to glue these down because I can. Oops, I might have got that too close to the edge. I definitely got it too close on that side. Clean my fingers because I feel glue on them. All right, so there's one. Oops. A little too much glue. That's all right. Two. Oops. Just glue that wherever. I mean, it's okay. All right, that looks good. And then one last one. Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? That quick. We have 3 bases ready to go. 1 sheet of 12 by 12, 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 so far. Then these ones came off of 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11. And these ones, we did, so we can do 5.5 for sure on that one. Let me just trim these up though, because we have this little border smush there. And so I want to make sure I cut it nice and straight. So I'm going to actually hang it off just a little because I already know I'm going to trim this down. It's way too big. Okay. So I'm just going to get it right up in there and cut right into the pattern. That one cut. Didn't look like it cut that crooked on that one, but it sure did. Okay, so I need to straighten this out again. So what am I going to do? I think I'll cut this side first. Get that lined up with that. Okay, that's a little bit more even. There we go. Oh yeah. It's just a little crooked. Okay. So now you see when I trimmed it up, I don't need to take any off the top. I need to take it off the side. And I think that if I make a little mark on the back right there, we'll see what length that is. That is 3.5. That sounds about right. Oh, that's gorgeous. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing, trim this all up. And if it's off-center, the first cut you make, what you'll want to do is on your little guide, line your image up with the plastic piece. You'll be able to see it through there. So I'm just rolling this forward so that I can see it's touching the plastic piece. So if I tip it, you can really see this part's touching the plastic piece, this part's sticking out. So I'm going to gently shove it back. And then I can see that's touching there, touching all the way through. Okay, and now this part is nice and straight with this design, even though it doesn't quite look like it. And it didn't. So that one's a better lineup. So I'm going to go with that one and hang these over just a hair, so they will snip right off. Come on, a little bit closer. And ooh, that one's a big shift going on there. We needed 3.5 anyways. So I'm going to take a little bit off of both sides because there's something funky going on. And it's a little playing around because, you know, the paper stretches. Was that 3.5? Let me double check before I go chomping away. Yep, 3.5. The paper warps when you send it through those embossing folders and stuff. Still looks good. All right. Let's try this one. Not quite enough. Okay, now I need it to be sure I've got enough cut off of that side, and then 3.5. All right, isn't that pretty? Okay, so with these ones, I'm going to use the score tape or tape of the double stick nature, because it's all lumpy and bumpy, and I don't need a ton of tape because it's just going to hold that little lovely butterfly. So I just need a little bit on the top and the bottom. Uh-oh, I'm running out of tape on this one, but I want to use it up. I'll get you, tape. Don't you worry. Okay. And just push it down in there so it grabs. Okay. Right. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. And this is a great way if you need to make cards in bulk to sell them, just check the angel policy on your stamps and your embossing folders. I don't know about the embossing folders angel policy, but Lavinia, I looked her up their angel policy. You can find it on their website. Oops. They permit for personal use only, of course, where you make and give as gifts. They also permit small batch for like craft fairs and stuff, but you can't reproduce the stamp, meaning you cannot photocopy it and print it again. So it has to be used in its original format. So if you're doing a digital design, you'll have to print your digital design and then stamp on top of it in order to sell that. So you couldn't sell a digital copy of that stamp. So, and look further into it before you go to sell, because it also requests that you put on the back where you put created by Elizabeth, you would do with Lavinia stamp, and you would acknowledge the fact that you're using their stamps. Okay, always look into people's copyrights, because even some paper you can't sell, I think. Or no, it's napkins. You know, people like to use napkins in their artwork. You have to be careful. Those images are trademarked too. And you can't just use them. All right, so back to the fun stuff. I stamped all of these with the Stays On, which is a solvent. Now, with solvents, they're not going to react to the water because they are not water-based. If this was the water-based Memento black, it would move around and get all icky. But we're going to be safe. And I'm just going to use, I don't know what I'm going to use. What colors turn out good on the white? Ooh, the pinks and the purples. That's great. And a little bit of this, I think. Which one is that? That is 7-Eleven over there. So that is going to be like that. That one. That's what I need right there. And because this is not watercolor paper, you don't want it sopping wet. Okay. And look, I'm painting right over the lines. Okay. Isn't that fabulous? I am using the brush that came with these. This is the Arteza water brush. I just dedicated it to these because these are metallics, and no matter how much you clean the brush, it's gonna leave shimmers behind, which is fine. But you know, sometimes you don't want shimmers. And these are the metallic watercolors that they have. Ugh, they're gorgeous. When mine start running low, which is I've been using them a lot, and I can't imagine them getting too low too soon, but I will be investing in these. I did win this set, and so I'm so happy I did, let me tell you. Okay, now we're going to go into this pink one. And see, my black isn't running at all. So that is so nice. Forget what I was doing. Okay, and this one. Right over the top of everything. Nothing fancy. You know, we're making a lot of cards. They're homemade, handmade, beautiful goodness. Ooh, I think I want a little bit of this green. Yep, I was happy with that green. Look at that. It's more of a yellowy green, but that's okay. Now, I did get it on that black area, so I'm just going to daub it up a little bit. Ooh, these metallics, let me tell you. They look good against that black. Let's do a little bit of blue. Let's do this one, right? Is this one? Oops, had a little bit of color in there. That's all right. I'll just clean it right off the top. Okay. I'm just gonna go in and fill in the rest with that color because it's really pretty. And I'm not squeezing the pen, I'm just letting it do its own little thing. Okay. And I'm just using a Nina Solar White 80 pound. Nothing spectacular about the paper, but because I'm doing a very light, it's not gonna warp the paper too much. Just a teeny bit. Nothing a little bit of tape won't fix. Okay, and then I think we're gonna do this green one more time right in here. Oops, I almost forgot the tails. Gotta get those pretty tails. I think we're just gonna go right in there with this one again. Oh man, that's so pretty. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. Let me stand up, make sure you guys can see this. Super easy, super fast. Okay, now we're going to put these away. And I did do an unboxing video, but oh my gosh, that was the worst thing ever. And I did swatch them out, which they do give you one of each of the things. So it's really nice to see how they look on the different colored papers. Because like that one right there is that one. They just have a total different reaction. And these look more silver than they do blue. And then this one is more of a clear shimmer when it's really green right there. Super fabulous. But enough of that. Okay, so that one's gonna sit over there and dry. Now this one, what were we thinking? We were thinking some colored pencils. Okay, so let's pull those out real quick. You can use your Crayolas, you can use whatever you have handy. And we're not going to be tedious. We're going to get in there. And I'm just going to do light. I'm not going to do the fancy burnish it down. I want this to go kind of quick. So there's my first layer of color for that part. And I'm going right over the top of the black because being so light-handed, it's not going to matter. You're not going to be able to see that I went right over the top unless you did a close-up examination. Okay, we're going to go for a nice light pastel-y color to go against our bright purple background we made. Okay. This one's a violet blue. Again, super soft hand. Swirly motions, kind of filling that in. And this one's more of a violet color, it says. And it is a beautiful design, so you could literally go in there and fine detail all the little loops and the everything with specific colors. But I want it to go kind of fast because, say, like I need to make 50 of these things. You know, you could stamp them all, then go sit in front of the TV and then color, watch your favorite YouTuber, just chillax. And then you would have a whole bunch ready to go for any time you need them. I'm going to pull a little bit of green in here. Tealy, aquamarine, aquamarine I think I'll use to fill in everything else. You can even use your fine point markers to do extreme detail in these. If you sharpen your pencils to a fine point, you can go back in and add gobs of detail. Okay. But I'm just going to do this super light-handed so we get this nice pastel effect. Okay, and then say like right here, this black isn't very black right there. Just go in and fill it back in. Same with the body here. There we go. Looking good. If you're wanting sparkle and you've just done pencil and you're like, oh, don't worry, you can sparkle right over the top of it. Trust me. I'm gonna just come in here and grab the crystal clear. Well, it's not really crystal clear, but the more clear base shimmer. Okay, because the water is not going to mess with your colored pencils. It's not like Gamsol or anything like that. And I'm just going to hit all these black areas. But you can go right over the colored pencils. I remember because I colored right in here with those colored pencils. Colored right there too. So you can always mix and match your mediums. Oops, I should have colored that piece black. So then we add some little shimmer to that. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so that's 2 butterflies. Almost 100% done. We still got to snip them out, but that shouldn't take too long. And we have this little one, which we're going to do a little bit of ink blending. Now, I don't want to use the purple that I have in my bottom base. I'm going to grab Minty Fresh because that is a soft. And then let's see about my piggyback. I might need to get a new one of those. Or not a new one, but you know, an ink refill on that. I'm just going to put this little pinky color down all over. I don't know. I've always had a little bit of troubles with this particular color. I just wonder if it came a little dry. And as you can see, I'm getting the color everywhere. I'm not caring. It's just going down. Just laying some color down. Okay, now we're going to go with a little darker pink. And I am swirling off the paper because I don't want to leave weird marks, because I am going to have to cut and some of that's going to stay in there. So I just did a couple of places in the brighter pink. Now I'm going to go for my Minty Fresh. Clean my brush. Okay, and then I think a hint of blue in there. I'll go for a lighter blue. Just not really liking the green very much with that. So we're going to clean up and see about some blue in there. Oh, that's better. All right. Cover that because it looked like it got a little bit muddy in there with the pink. All right. Yeah. Looks good. Little cleanup. Ta-da! 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 Okay, so now all we gotta do is chop, chop. Chop, chop. You can leave as much of the color as you want. You can get super close. I mean, it's gonna be solely up to you. I think I'm gonna do kind of a close cut. Okay, now I'm gonna come in and go like that. Just so I can come do this side first. I don't want to mess with those, because see how I have to hold this? I'm going to go really close. Ooh-wee. Didn't turn soon enough. Get really close. I'm going to zoom up the center. There we go. And you're going to just follow along however it's comfortable for you. I mean, you don't even have to go into the nooks and crannies like I am. I'm just being really in there with the detail this time. And I had done this side hastily because I wasn't sure if I wanted a thin line or a fat line. So now I'm just going to go back, get a little bit closer. And then we're just gonna zoom into this centerpiece. And we're gonna there we go. Okay. Fabulous. Now I'm gonna go around this little wispy. The worst part is cutting on the back side of something. Get really close in there and cut that centerpiece out. And you can make teeny little chop marks. Just kind of go follow along. Okay. Whew, that's some tedious stuff right there. As soon as I finish this one up, I will put you guys on pause and then cut out the other two. But you can see that this is not, I mean, this is time consuming. The rest of the cards went so easy. This one part, if it takes this all day, you know, it's still going to look so fabulous. Yeah. Okay. Now for this, I'm going to get my other scissors because they're a little bit more controllable in my, for these delicate areas. The Tim Holtz I love, but they have this little gripping feature that doesn't make them super easy to turn in these tight areas. So I'm just snipping like little baitings. And of course you could also use your X-Acto knife and get in there too. If you have a cutting mat and an X-Acto knifey. Oh, I need you to go down. There we go. Such finicky. I have to see if they have a die cut for this. That would be nice. I would so rather die cut this out. Okay, so we just need to go around this just a little bit more. Ah, close enough. All right. Doesn't that look fabulous? And look how wonderful that's going to look on there. And it will stick out. No, it won't. Ha! It fits. I was going to say, if it sticks out a little bit, that's okay, because the envelope it's probably going to wind up in is going to be a little bit bigger. But look. Okay, I'm going to put you on pause, clean my mess, and chop a couple more butterflies. Alrighty. So I did scissor cutting this one with a little bit bigger border. Okay, so this one went super quick, but this one I decided to take an X-Acto knife to and got super close in there. But I'm not liking the white, so what I'm gonna do is go in with a little bit of blue just to kind of tone down that white. Okay, you can do your edges. And then this one has a lot of white, so I'm just gonna lightly go in there and get those little white spots. Sometimes white is good, but not for me, not on this project. All right, there we go. I think that looks a lot better now. Okay, and then all we've got to do is attach them to our bases that have been waiting for us forever. We want to make sure they open the proper way. Okay, and I'm gonna now I'm gonna use tape and glue on this little fella, just because I want those fine little antennae to stick really good. Just do your own thing, tape. Find the end of a new roll. Okay. Before I put the glue on, I'm going to peel back the tape. Maybe. Okay. All right. Ooh. Isn't that fun? Okay. Then we're going to put just enough so it stays on the page. I'll flip that over, give a little push. All right, now this one, since it's nice and big area back there, I don't have to worry so much. I can put a little bit of tape there and a little bit of tape there, maybe a pinch that away. If you're worried about a little bit of going in and out of the card, you're definitely can take your glue right up in there, right there, and this one we're gonna go this way with. Now this one's gonna hang off just a hair, maybe. I forgot I put tape on it. Okay, just a teeny weeny bit. That is nothing to worry about. Isn't that great? that. All right, and again, if you're worried, you can dab a little in there. These ones are a little bit looser than the other ones. Oops. Too much of a glue glob there. Come hither, little butterfly. And then this one, gonna do another little tip, but a little bit higher up. Maybe. I just got glue everywhere. That's all right though. Just dab it up. And then we flip and press. Oh, that blue on that purple looks pretty. All right. And there we have it. 3 cards with one butterfly done 3 different ways. Because we did the colored pencils with a touch of metallic on that one. We did the metallic paints on that one. And then this one we just ink blended on. Put a couple of different little ink colors on. And then we have one embossing plate, which we did 2 different ways. And then 1 sheet of 12 by 12 paper. 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 for the backing. 1 8.5 by 11 for the embossing folders. And then you can use the little scraps, but basically it was a little less than an 8.5 by 11 to do all 3 of those stamps. Pretty slick, huh? Well, I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Ooh, that one's just so gorgeous. Look at that. Have a good one, everyone.